Good morning, welcome everyone to those who may be watching the meeting live on YouTube. I'm Councillor Neil Tungate, Chairman of the Committee. I'd now like to hand over to Democratic Services to read the housekeeping note.
Please note that this meeting is being broadcast live on the Council's website and on YouTube. It will remain available for a minimum of 12 months. Please use your microphone when speaking and remember to switch it off. Please switch any mobile devices to silent. If the fire alarm rings, please leave the room immediately and use the nearest fire exit. Do not use the lift. Please go to the fire assembly point in the car park. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. For the benefit of those watching the meeting online, please would members introduce themselves during the meeting if not already introduced by name. We've received apologies from Councillors Harrison, Clark and Davis. Any others? No? No. Okay. Item 1 of the agenda. Can we approve the minutes of the meetings held on the 10th of January 25 and 12th of May 25? Agreed. Thank you very much. Do members have any interest to declare? No, thank you. There's been no public participation. It's going well. Item 4, taxi licensing policy amendments. I'll hand over to Christopher and Joe to introduce that.
Yeah, I'm happy to let Krista introduce the item.
Thank you, Chair. Krista Ferguson, Licensing Manager. Following the revision of the Institute of Licensing Guidance on Convictions and Fit and Proper Considerations, there is a proposal to amend and update Appendix B of the taxi policy as agreed earlier this year. This convictions policy is an important part of the safeguarding the public. All authorities base their convictions guidance on this statutory guidance and the Institute of Licensing guidance, which was first published in 2018. This provides consistency across licensing authority and prevents shopping around by those applicants who may have a conviction history. The updates help make our policy more robust, providing clearer guidance on a number of areas. These changes are highlighted in red in Appendix 2 of your report. As changes to policy need to be consulted on, a short consultation of 1 month is proposed. Any relevant responses will be reviewed at a following GP&L meeting prior to adoption by full council. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Any observations, comments? Alvin Reid.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alvin Reid, representing the lovely villages of Tiptoe, Horde, Leverton, Milford and Keyhaven. I did have a number of questions that I've been responded to by the officers, and they've adequately addressed my questions. So I'd like to say thank you, and thank you for a very comprehensive document. Thank you.
Thank you. Phil Dowd.
Thank you, Chair. Philip Dowd, Hythe Central. Can I just ask for a bit more clarification on... sorry, I'm going to have to scroll back to it. There's a bit on mobility assistance in when you're considering the Equalities Act. It's quite broad. Can you explain what that's in relation to?
Sorry, could you just tell me which page?
I would love to, but this is not scrolling back to where I am. I will be with you shortly. No, that's the... I went on.
It's in the Appendix B.
Yes. We're on page 6, and it's section 5.10. Offences involving discrimination. And it's an offence not to refusal to provide mobility assistance. What does that actually cover?
Do you know which paragraph it is, please, Councillor?
5.10.
Page 61.
Got it. Yeah, the Mobility Act, which was amended recently, last couple of years, includes things like you've always not been, you cannot refuse to carry an assistance dog. So if we got a report from someone to say that they've been discriminated against because they refuse to carry an assistance dog or they refuse to help them with the wheelchair, then we would put that, we would file that against the driver's case, and then we would consider that to be a fairly hefty, it's not a conviction, but it is something that...
It's part of the legislation
Yes.
to make reasonable accommodation.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. I'm just... my concern is it's quite broad. So if it included the words reasonable accommodation, because I think we'll all agree, someone who has a mobility, a taxi that is set up for people with mobility issues, they are going to be able to offer a much better service than someone who's running a regular cab. So I think as long as the word's reasonable, I think it's got to support the fact that there is going to be a range of ability depending on the vehicle as well.
It is, and what I would say is each case will be taken on its own merits. You know, as you rightly say, you know, you've got a whole parameter there.
Yeah.
Which could be...
I just think because the Act uses the words reasonable accommodation, I think it would be helpful to have that in the document. My other point is we've got very clear indications about sexual offences and things that would particularly with child passengers be considered poor behaviour. But we don't have any specific reference to radicalisation. And recent child protection guidance includes protections against being radicalised. And so given that children can be carried as lone passengers, should we have explicit reference to that? I'm thinking of the statutory guidance published in 2025 to do with safeguarding children, young people and families.
Councillor Dowd, I think these are all really valid points you make, and this is obviously the whole benefit of us going out for consultation to look at any comments people are raising and look at building anything additional in there and adding additional wording for clarification. As Krista said, obviously we do look at all the cases based on their merits, but if there is some additional clarification and wording to make matters clearer, we can add that in. So we'll obviously make a note of the points that are being raised.
That's really all I'm asking.
So,
yeah, thank you.
I'd just add, there's also in paragraph 8, it talks about behaviours, and it's driver behaviours that fall short of criminal behaviour but are indicators of a more sinister behaviour need to be addressed to maintain confidence in the taxi trades. So that, again, sort of comes into the area that you may be talking about.
Are you happy with that, Phil?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
I think it's probably worth, remembering this is going out to consultation, so it's worth sticking an email in when that opens, actually, to clarify your point exactly. Alvin, I think I spotted first.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I think Philip raised an excellent point, but I think it's covered on page 63, paragraph 8, under the 4th bullet point, inappropriate conversation, questions or behaviour. So I think that should adequately cover it. Thank you.
That's a fair point. Yeah, Alan Glass.
I'm glad to see all this information of the consultation listed out, and I fully support it, because thinking of some of the cases we've had, a chap that spoke very poor English, who used to sit his schoolgirl passengers beside him, we had a job to define that he was doing something that we didn't like. This will clarify that, and I think when we take the broader effects of these recommendations, they will move us forward an awfully long way. So I would fully support what we've got. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No other points. Are we happy to go to the recommendation on page 3? Can agree with that? Thank you very much. All right. Item 5, Licensing Authority Performance Report. Joe, Krista?
Thank you. This report provides an overview of the licensing activities during the last financial year 2024-25. There's been a lot of work carried out by the team, as figures in the report indicate. However, there is also work that can't be quantified, such as advice to customers, taxi drivers, prospective or current licence holders with regards to premises licences, plus mediation in some cases where Licensing Act applications have been submitted and objections are received. The Licensing Service Plan also provides planned activities going forward for 25-26. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Any comments, observations? No? Everyone happy? We go to the recommendation on page 65. Everyone happy?
Agreed.
Thank you. Item 6, dates of future meetings. Everyone happy to note those? Thank you. I have no other urgent items. I declare the meeting closed.